And welcome back, everyone. So, a few things just to update. So, I've driven it a couple times, the car, and as I've mentioned in the previous video, I've got a little bit of a whine noise in the car. And to be perfectly honest, I've driven it only at low speeds, and I am sorry for the lighting. The sun is out finally. We got a very nice day out, and it's awesome. There's a little bit of a chill, but not too bad. Anyway, um, I took it out for a couple of drives and just low speed, nothing too fancy. The speed limit around here on the highway is 65, and then 55 on downward on the side roads and whatnot. On those, it's not intolerable. It's definitely loud when off throttle, but not too bad. But today I gave it a little bit of a punch, and it got a little bit wild. Not anything bad, or at least I don't think so. However, the whine was a bit more extreme. Maybe it's just because it sounded way faster, and I have a feeling I'm gonna have to dig into parts on the transmission because I have a feeling there's a bearing or something that is going crazy that's been worn out, which makes sense with how hard this has been driven and my stupidity on lack of maintenance. But anyway, that out of the way, it operates perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with or the numbers that I'm seeing on the access port. Everything runs and drives fine as far as the engine goes. It's just the transmission or the drive line in general that I am concerned about. Transmission on back. It could even just be a bad bushing for the drive shaft. I don't know because I do have the stock drive shaft. Carbon fiber has been a plan, but those can get a little bit pricey. So I've held off on one of those for quite a while, which it might be time for one. Anyway, I also swapped it back over to the regular Brembo brake pads just because I didn't want to wear my track pads out. And all four corners were fine except for, or I should say, all the three corners were fine except for the passenger side front. When I took the brake pads out of there, there were little bits and pieces that fell out. And this is what I'm left with, which is no bueno. I'm happy I took it apart when I did and kind of start seeing some cracking in there as well. And this is just me speaking without knowledge on the topic or the build of the brakes. And if this is what happens for regular race pads, but these are a little bit cracked as well on the driver's side front. So there's that. And just for fun, let's take a look at one of the rear pads because the rear pads look fine. At least that one did, and so does that one. So the rear pads can be reused. But because of the passenger front, I decided to go ahead and order a new set of front brake pads for the track. So I guess I'm going to have to be very diligent and actually stick to what I've said and actually have a dedicated track pad, and probably also going to do a dedicated track rotor. Use these ones for the ones that are already on it, which will be used for the next track session, but use these for the street because they're perfectly fine, and then get another set that are specifically for the track. I also need to commit to another set of wheels or just be lazy and spend the money after track day to get the quote-unquote street tires put back on to the car. In either way I go about it, just so I'm not wearing these things out. So have a new set of brake pads coming in. Unfortunately, little did I know that suddenly brake pads are coming to be hard to find and get in time. So I was going to go back to the EBC Blues, but those are apparently 19 days from the average ship out date, what it says on the website. And I don't want to play around with time like that because that gives me 10 days of wiggle room. I feel uncomfortable doing that, so I just went with something that was there. So I went with a set of DBA. Forget the exact model number that I went with, but regardless, got some brake pads. So those will be on the way. I also got some rear diff fluid because I have a history of apparently letting that stuff run really low, and I'm not taking any chances this time with the rear diff. And then I also placed a huge order for AMSOIL, so I got some coolant boost for this because I need to take out all the coolant and put it back into track setup with just water, and I could just do water, but for the cooling aspect I also like to put in some coolant boost. I did redline water wetter last year, and I'm going to try out the AMSOIL coolant boost this year. So I've also got a bunch of oil on the way as well as brake fluid. Now for the biggest update. So every time that I've gone to the track, it's always been kind of a logistical nightmare because I've had to essentially close the trailer up, go do my Saturday obligation to fulfill my Sunday obligation, and then, you know, pack the bags, all sorts of jazz, all that fun stuff. Well, and I also had a generator before, but it was an open frame generator, and last time I was at the track, there were a couple men that got angry, so I turned it off, and lo and behold, the only reason why they got angry was because my generator was just as loud as their music. So obviously, being the party people at the track, I was being the not fun guy. So yeah, they got mad at me. But anyway, I finally got a generator, and I am going to be able to do everything I need now, which is nice. So I don't think there's going to be many logistical issues going on, or, you know, situations that I have to deal with. Everything's going to be able to be packed in the truck, minus some special clothing, but I'll wear that and then come back to the trailer, and I'll be able to, with the help of this, save money on, you know, trying to find a hotel room, drive down there on Friday evening after work, stay the night there on Friday, so I'm not rushed to get to class on Saturday before the first track session, or the second track session, because I'm moving into HPD 3. So I've never looked into their schedule to see what it's like. So either way, I won't be rushing on Saturday morning, waking up at like 3 in the morning to get to the track by 6, and then an hour to get everything set up. I'll be there on Friday night and set everything up, get a nice night's sleep before running the track, which I also think goes into safety a bit. So yeah, but super easy start. I got a 3700 watt, although it only produces 3000 while running, but it's closed frame, and I've looked up a few tips and tricks on how to make this even quieter. But let's just start her up to see how quiet she actually is, because I haven't tested it over here before. Just that easy. And I'm not sure if you can hear me, but that's eco mode on. That is eco mode off. And regardless, I have the trailer open. And I think I found out the other day when I was testing it, I was trying to charge my phone. And look at that, my lights work. Feels good to have those back on, because I spent way too much money getting those to not be able to use them. But yeah, let's just do this really quick. No lights, and then boom, lights. Very happy. And I was almost concerned because I have my outlets here, and then I also have my fast chargers for my cell phone and whatnot. And when I first plugged it in, I had not fully secured the cord on the trailer or on the generator, so I was not getting super fast charging. Well, the next day I did the twist lock that you're supposed to do, and with that full secure connection, the chargers are now working the way they're supposed to. But anyway, y'all, I wanted to make this video shorter, but I rambled on, so there's all of that. I've got to put this back on jack stands, see if I can figure out what the problem is. If not, then I'm obviously just running it, or if I can find something, then take it back to the shop. Got new brake pads on order, got a whole AMSOIL order going on that should be arriving here shortly, and then new generator for the track so that I can stay there. And because I missed it, I do have a new life update as well. I just got my real estate license, so, or at least I passed my test. Now I'm just waiting on DPOR to decide whether or not I'm a criminal. So once that's active, I'll have a whole bunch of stuff going on, and we'll see how things go. But the initial is to replace the W-2 and then be full-time real estate and motorsports. So there you have it, y'all. If you are in the Hamptons Road area, that's where I will be operating out of mostly, but I can take care of obviously anywhere in the state of Virginia, but mostly up on the peninsula and whatnot. So there you have it, y'all. Until next time, stay driven.